Scene opens, fast-paced cuts of someone putting on a plague doctor costume, fumbling with the mask and cloak. Ever fantasized about time travel? Maybe you picture yourself as a knight in shining armor, or a royal in a lavish court. Well, let's dial back the glamour a bit. What if you woke up one day, not in your comfy bed, but on a straw mattress in the 14th century, and your new job title? Plague Doctor. Congratulations on the career change. Let's see what your first day on the job would look like. First things first, your outfit. Forget business casual. Your new uniform is a head-to-toe waxed leather or canvas gown. It's heavy, it's hot, and it smells faintly of... well, let's just say it's been places. You'll also get a wide-brimmed hat to signal your profession, gloves, boots, and the main event, that iconic beak mask. It's not just for show, my friend. You're supposed to stuff that beak with aromatic herbs, spices, and flowers like mint, cloves, and rose petals. The prevailing theory of the day, the miasma theory, believed that disease was spread by bad air. So, the idea was that this fragrant beak bouquet would purify the air you breathe and protect you. Spoiler alert, it didn't really work against bacteria, but hey, at least you'd smell better than everything else around you. Now that you're dressed for success, let's talk about your duties. You're not exactly a top-tier physician. In fact, most real doctors had already fled the plague-ridden cities. You're more like a first responder, a civil servant hired by the town to treat everyone, rich and poor alike. Your patient list is long, the hours are longer, and the prognosis is grim. You'd travel from house to house, marked with a red cross, stepping into scenes of desperation. Your primary tool is a long wooden stick. You'd use it to poke patients, examine them from a distance, and even flip them over without actually touching them. Social distancing, medieval style. So, what treatments are in your medical bag? Get ready for some real old-school medicine. The star of the show is bloodletting. Got a fever? Let's drain some blood. Feeling weak? Let's drain some more blood. The idea was to balance the body's 4 humors: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. It was believed the plague caused an excess of blood, so draining it seemed logical. You'd either make an incision with a lancet, or, for a more hands-off approach, apply some leeches and let them do the work. It was messy, and it usually just made the patient weaker, but it was the go-to procedure. Another popular treatment involved lancing the buboes, those painful, swollen lymph nodes in the armpits and groin that gave the bubonic plague its name. You'd cut them open to drain the pus, hoping to release the pestilence. Then you'd apply a lovely poultice. What's in it? Oh, just a delightful mix of things like tree resin, flower roots, and sometimes even human excrement. Yes, you heard that right. Desperate times called for desperate, and very strange measures. You might also prescribe potions made of crushed minerals, or even tell people to sit near a hot fire, believing the heat would drive out the plague. Your job wasn't just medical, though. You were also a record keeper. Part of your contract was to witness wills and keep track of the dead. You were often the last person a patient would see, offering what little comfort you could. This made you both a figure of terror. Your arrival meant the plague was near, and a symbol of a strange, desperate kind of hope. You were walking into the fire when everyone else was running away. Now, let's talk about the survival rate. For your patients, it was tragically low. For you, it wasn't great either. Many plague doctors caught the very disease they were trying to treat and died. The protective suit, while intimidating, offered very little actual protection against the fleas that carried the Yersinia pestis bacterium. Remember that miasma theory? It was completely wrong. The real culprit wasn't bad air, but infected flea bites. So, while you were busy sniffing your bouquet of roses, a flea could easily hop from a rat onto your boot and seal your fate. But what if you did survive? What if you were one of the lucky ones? Well, the pay was surprisingly good. Because the job was so dangerous, towns were willing to pay a premium. You could earn a fortune, sometimes many times what a normal doctor would make. Some plague doctors used this opportunity to their advantage, charging extra fees for special, secret cures that were, of course, completely useless. The most famous plague doctor of all, Nostradamus, actually had some surprisingly modern advice. He advocated for removing the deceased, getting fresh air, drinking clean water, and not bleeding patients. He was definitely ahead of his time. Life as a plague doctor was a paradox. You were respected and feared, well paid but constantly in mortal danger. You were a symbol of science and medicine, even if that science was deeply flawed. You were on the front lines of one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, armed with a pointy stick, a bird mask, and a whole lot of questionable theories. You'd witness immense suffering, but you'd also represent a flicker of humanity in a world consumed by darkness. So, next time you see that creepy, cool-looking plague doctor costume, remember the reality behind the mask. It wasn't a fashion statement. It was the uniform of a brave, misguided, and often doomed individual trying to make sense of a world falling apart. It's a humbling reminder of how far medicine has come, and a testament to the courage of those who face down disease, no matter the era. It definitely makes you appreciate modern sanitation, antibiotics, and not having to put leeches on anyone. Thank you so much for journeying back in time with me today. It was a bit grim, but hopefully you found it as fascinating as I do. If you enjoyed this trip through history, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the weird and wonderful parts of our past. Let me know in the comments what historical job you'd want to explore next. Stay safe and see you in the next video.